Hi guys, just an update on a Russian Imperial Stout that I've been brewing. That's actually in the fermentation fridge just over there, it's just about ready to be bottled. But this really isn't a review about that, it's about another beer that I've made with the second runnings, a basically big dunk sparge. I followed the idea that was given out by Rusty, basically saying can we make a low alcohol beer or even a completely non-alcoholic beer. So I thought I'd give that a go, so here's a video a wee bit about that. Okay, see you in a wee while. Okay, just a little bit of quick footage of my Russian Imperial Stout. I think it might be Aunt Rogerson who asked me the last time I did this if it was a full batch I did. Anyway, someone asked, and I thought I'd do a full batch this time, and I think I understand now why someone was asking me. So that's absolutely maxed out the brew pot, but it is recirculating really nicely, which is great. Just a quick update, this is the mash out, and I don't think I've ever had it working quite as well as this. And the good thing is that it's absolutely nice and full, so we'll have no trouble with it backing up or anything. The husks, oat husks, are just absolutely fantastic. So again, two dinos, absolutely fantastic. But you can just see it's absolutely streaming out. You can see this. So it's recirculating really nicely. So I'll give that another half an hour. Raise the temperature to about 75 degrees Celsius, and then get on with the sparge. Well, thanks very much, Darren, for these. They absolutely smell fantastic. I mean, it's just like almost like a golden smell. Totally delicious. So thanks again. Okay, 90 grams of Challenger. Lovely. Actually reusing the grains. Soak in there for half an hour or so. Okay, that's me just draining it. So just rigged that up. Okay, just a quick update. I've racked these two demijohns about 10 days ago or something, and I'm going to bottle one of them, which I'm expecting to come out about 3%. And the other one I'm going to heat up and try and burn off the alcohol to have a low alcohol beer. Okay, and just for the record, the yeast that's left after it's fallen out of secondary, I'll just keep that there so that I can put the cool beer back on top after I've simmered off the alcohol, and hopefully that will be enough for a little bit of a secondary fermentation in the bottle. Okay, this is the widest pot I've got. Just coming up to a little bit of a very slow simmer here. So the question is how long to give it. And the best thing I could find on the internet, I quickly googled it, was a post, and I'll leave the link below. But basically it's about burning off alcohol during cooking. And this guy called Mark Deichel from Oregon State University, who teaches brewing science and analysis, has experimented with cooking off alcohol. In 10 minutes, 80 to 90% of the alcohol will go up in smoke. In 30 minutes, 95% is gone. That's the best kind of quote I can get. Okay, just a wee update. It's about 3 minutes to go. It's been in about 12 minutes. But the thing I'm noticing is just the smell of the alcohol's now just dissipated, which is great, because I'm sure I was initially, just as I was smelling it, I just sort of thought, oh, it smells lovely, in fact. And that kind of smell of just the alcohol sort of burning off is, I'm sure that's working. So it's just a very gentle heat, so giving this about 15 minutes. Okay, just a quick update. I'm going to change my mind. I'm going to go for half an hour. What I was getting was still a hint of alcohol, and I'm just going to have to just go with my instinct and think that give it half an hour with a proper simmer, and assume that that's going to be almost all the alcohol away. And certainly the smell I'm getting of what I think is alcohol is dissipating or getting less. So I'm going to just go with that. So ignore what I said earlier. I'm going to say half an hour. Alright, welcome back. So here's the two bottles. 2.6% the pink cap and assuming it's near damn it 0.5% alcohol in the blue cap. So what I'm going to do now is open them up, pour them, and obviously I know which one's which, but actually for a taste test it might be quite interesting just to try them without knowing which one is which. So, thanks to... Can you guess who it is? Okay, bonus quiz question. Kid's character, it's a book. Okay, here goes. Can't believe I'm doing this. Right, okay, so. I'm going to muddle these up 10 times. I got absolutely no idea how this looks now. Okay, completely muddled up. Right, we're cooking. Not that, and I've got a couple of plastic cups. Here we go. So, nice little hiss. There's one. Hope you're enjoying this. There we go. There we go. Hey. Little hiss. Right. I can't believe I did that. Right. Okay. Couple left and right. Couple of beers. Let's try this. So these will come out quite brown. Oh, that's pretty murky. So they've been in the fridge. I took them out about an hour ago. Oh, it looks horrible. So does this one. Yeah, so they've been in the bottle for a couple of weeks. I must admit, I'm not overly looking forward to this, I don't think. It's worth a try. Oh, it's murky. So anyway, cheers, thanks for watching. Yeah, quite malty. Interesting. So I ended up using about a third of the amount of hops on the basis that I wanted something less hoppy, obviously with it being a much lower alcohol beer. So I used about a third of the hops for about 2 gallons that I made. And I'm not sure about the IBUs, but I think that's come out at something much higher than I was expecting, so it's about 60 or something like that. So it's a much hoppier than I certainly was planning, if I had planned it. I didn't really, it was all just spur of the moment stuff on the day. They certainly both smell very similar. I better not muddle these up. I can always check the footage, can't I? Okay, well anyway, cheers. It tastes like a very light beer that's certainly bitter. It's rather annoying. Does it taste non-alcoholic? I wouldn't say so. I've only tasted one of them, and I'm guessing this one's the one with the alcohol in it. But it doesn't taste very nice, I'll just say. So I had great plans to send a couple of these out to Rusty and everything, but I'm not sure I'll bother. They're certainly too bitter. That's got a lighter taste. In terms of the evaporation, just for the record, I lost about 15% of the volume, because we both started off with about a gallon each and then reduced the volume, obviously for the one that was evaporated, so it was about roughly 15% less. Obviously it wasn't 15% alcohol, so a lot of that was just the water as well. So on that basis, you would expect the one that was reduced volume to be the one that would taste stronger, taste more bitter, which I think is this one. So I think this is probably the one with the non-alcohol. 0.5%, let's say. But they taste really quite similar. Neither of them are very good. They certainly need to be a little bit more carbonated. Maybe I went for just a little bit less, half a teaspoon of something, even probably less than that of brewing sugar, so that's maybe a little bit on the light side. It's too bitter for sure, but if I had to guess, I think that one's the non-alcoholic or the low alcohol one. And that one's it's slightly more carbonated too, it's slightly more pleasant. So, moment of truth time. I think this one is the non-alcoholic one, which is the Blue Cap. Blue Cap. Yeah. So, I'm right. Did we learn something? I think, is it possible to make a low alcohol beer? I think it probably is. I think I'm annoyed that I put so much hops in, and probably the style, the Russian Imperial Stout, albeit that basically base recipe, but at a much lower alcohol, and we know that that works at 4 or 5% or whatever. So I'm sure it would work at 2 or 3% okay, if you just did it sort of from scratch, sort of thing, rather than this sort of big sparge thing. Would work, I think, but if you're going to put in hops and boil it up and everything, that's just far too bitter, far too overwhelming for the beer style, I think, which is a pity, so it's my own fault. So might try this again. I think it'd be quite a good idea. When you're making a 5-gallon batch, you can easily put 1 gallon and do this kind of in a demi-john, ferment it out in secondary, and then boil with the alcohol, and then you got a small batch out of your 5 gallons. You can give to the driver if you've got friends visiting and stuff. So I'll leave it there. Rusty, I was going to send you a couple of these out. Let me know if you fancy trying it. Probably wouldn't bother if I was you, but we'll see. I'm happy to do it, of course. Anyway, so say cheers for now, and thanks everyone for watching. Okay, cheers. Bye bye.